Hello everybody, I'm Mike with Omega Survival and Exploration, and this is going to be my video of the River LIL Canadian, and I'm going to do a little bushcraft carving with it because it's not a large knife. I don't really like batoning and doing heavy stuff. Small knives are good for carving, and that's it, in my opinion. So respect your knives because that's your tool out in the woods. It's really easy to get lost in what you're doing out in the woods. Real easy to process firewood down. I can get lost for hours just doing that. I personally don't think I really got a camp going on until I got a good fire going. It's a lot more work making these videos than people think. Before I get started on what I'm initially out here to do, which is do a carving video with the LIL Canadian, I'm giving you guys a little behind the scenes. I usually get a fire going when I get here because it's light out and it's usually pretty dark when I leave, so I can see when I'm here in the daytime. And this is what I usually do. I get a fire going and set my camp up, take multiple shots, see where I get the best shot angles from. I'm starting to do videos a lot more scripted and methodically than I used to. I used to just wing it, and I don't do that anymore. Everything I do is thought out ahead of time. Right now, it's just kind of behind the scenes. So let's talk a little bit about bushcraft utensils. To me, all bushcrafting is building something out of only stuff that I find in the woods. That's all bushcrafting is to me. Everybody has so many wacky definitions and gets so hardcore about it. And I just like spending time in the woods. I like building things with wood, spending time in nature. It's very quiet out here. I like getting out of the city, out of town as much as possible. And I guess I got that fire going good enough. We'll get back to the part of the video I'm actually here for. It's really easy to get lost in what you're doing out in the woods. Real easy to process firewood down. I can get lost for hours just doing that. I personally don't think I really got a camp going on until I got a good fire going. So here's the LIL Canadian again. I've used it quite a bit, but I got it cleaned up for the video. This is one of my favorite Bark River knives, by the way. I just tend to favor small knives. But to get to the piece of wood I want, I'm going to take a little bit bigger of a bushcraft knife and a very light baton and just take off what I don't want. Okay, getting close already. This is a utensil I make. I mean, I usually bring spoons with me. I like to save my old MRE spoons. And I never really have the need to make anything like this at a necessity, because I usually make sure I have what I need. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that spoon making is more of a hobby. I mean, there might be a situation where you might need to make it at a necessity. Things happen, I get it. But I've enjoyed making a few myself from time to time. But I just have a way to make an eating utensil that's just a little more efficient for me. Alright, now I got it down where I want it. I really don't want to baton and do that with this knife. It's too small. But now I'm into the carving part of it. I got a notch in my log here. I purposely have it this way. I'm doing a video soon. I'm going to start my log cabin series really soon. And I'm going to be building a whole bunch of stuff. And one of those things I'm going to be building is a outdoor fireplace for my camp for the winter, because it'll burn wood more efficiently. And I'm going to have it closed in with walls on the outside, you know, like a pavilion kind of deal. But I have this notch cut out this way for firewood. I put the log over here, bury my foot over the top of it, and it locks it in place. But I could also carve with this here. Right now I'm just getting it straight. This wood is semi-seasoned. This knife is razor sharp. You don't even need to draw shapes on here. I'll show you up close. This is where I'm at. It's got a pretty good rough square going on. I'm actually at a point right now where for the first time I'm comfortable batoning this. See, I could actually get two of what I want out of this, but I'm only going to make one today. Then I just plane it. With my knife. Take the sides down that look high. Do it by eye. When I want to eat, I'm not in a competition out here. Alright. As you can see, it's pretty thin. It's like a lattice board. Here's where we're at now. It's pretty thin. I don't know about you, but that's perfect to eat with almost. You just sit, do a little bit of fine tuning. If you want to make it look pretty. Get that top as flat as possible, because you could stir with it. I mean, you can make it spoon shaped because it'll fit in your mouth. But that's as much as I've ever needed. That holds food quite fine. You could even do a more controlled cut like this on both sides if you really wanted to make it look pretty. But it's getting pretty thin now, and I don't really want to go smaller than that. I call this the bushcraft spoon incident. This is what I usually make all the time if I need to make an impromptu cooking utensil. It's also good for stirring. You want to make it a little long, at least long enough to fit inside your cup, you know, and stir it up. And it's actually quite nice to eat with. You find a side that maybe bows just a little, because it gives you a little bit of leverage to scoop with. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I like carving spoons myself, but you need other stuff for that. You need scorp knives. I've seen some people do it just with knives alone, but it's very tedious. It takes quite a while, and you gotta sit there and carve a divot, a spoon-shaped divot, and this is just great. It takes literally no time at all. If I could show you that time lapse, that probably took me about 8 minutes, you know, in between shooting my film and talking. If I would have just sat here and carved this straight up, it would have taken me probably 5 to 8 minutes. And you want to get seasoned wood, that it's dry inside. You don't want to be eating that slimy sap. And this is pretty seasoned, it's pretty nice. Not fully seasoned, I'd say maybe 6-8 months old of drying time after it was cut, because I cut that tree a few months back. I'd say sometime in early spring maybe. Well, I'm Mike with Omega Survival. I really hope you enjoyed my video. This was the River LIL Canadian and my bushcraft spoon incident. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching. I know it looks a little rough, but it works excellent.